Let me show you some camera tips and tricks for POCO F7 Pro. So let's get right into it. We're gonna go to the camera, and the first thing that I want to show you is the change of focal distance or the focal length, which is used in the camera zoom. If you have, for example, 1x zoom, you can tap once in order to switch to, for example, 28mm or 35mm, or you can go back to 24. Now this is just a simple change of the zoom. And for example, if you leave it like this, you will see that, for example, right now I'm using 1.5x zoom. Talking about zoom, we can also press and hold your finger on the zoom in order to open this radius. So you don't have to use any gestures or anything like that. In order to change the zoom, you can just simply swipe left and right in order to adjust the zoom pretty easily. Definitely a convenient way to quickly zoom in or zoom out. Another thing is the voice shutter, so the voice command that is used in order to take a photo, which is available, for example, in the photo mode. So if we go to the camera options, you should be able to find shutter type, and then over here we have voice shutter. If you enable it, you have the voice command that you need to say out loud in order to take a photo. So if I say cheese, I will immediately take a photo. Another thing that I want to show you is actually in camera settings. So let's go to the settings, and this is more for video recording. So over here, if we scroll down to the video section, you should be able to find audio settings. And here we have, for example, the smart noise reduction, which allows you to reduce the impact of wind on recorded audio while shooting videos. And this feature works in director mode as well as in the regular and pro video modes. And unfortunately, external microphones are not supported, but it's still a pretty good way, of course, since most of the time we don't use external microphones anyway. We can also see the difference between the original sound and the one that was reduced, or the noise was reduced with this smart noise reduction. Over here we have some additional audio settings, but I think they are even less used than the smart noise reduction. Besides that, speaking about video recording, we also have HDR10+, which we can enable simply over here in this setting. And another thing is the shoot with screen off option. We can turn off the screen automatically after 3 minutes of inactivity, so the phone will turn it off automatically in order to save power while recording regular or time-lapse videos. It is also used for timed bursts or long exposure. So for example, if you record a time-lapse video and you want to save the power consumption, then of course it is worth turning this option on, because, well, since it is a time-lapse video, you probably don't need to have the preview on the screen all the time. And also we have a volume buttons function, which I definitely, in my case, I like to use it for zoom, which allows you to zoom in and zoom out with volume buttons. So instead of using the radius or the gesture, you can simply use volume up or volume down to adjust the zoom and be really precise with it as well. Now the next thing that I want to show you is the beauty filters, which can be found on the right side over here. This icon here indicates beauty filters. And if you use the rear camera, then it's just a simple slider. However, if we switch to the front camera, we have a little bit more options. So we can go through here in order to adjust the beauty filter and make pretty much everyone pretty with a bunch of these options. Definitely worth trying out. Also, for the selfie camera, we have this light bulb, which is used in order to, for example, use the flashlight mode. So if you need a little bit of additional light for your selfie photo, then of course you can use this light bulb to make the screen so much brighter. And there is also the portrait mode, which is also useful, especially if you like those blurred photos where the background is blurred. So if you use the front camera, you have this F icon in the middle, and this is the blur. The lower the value, the more of the blur we use, and of course we can remove the blur completely by moving all the way to the right, for example. And we also have the blur for the rear camera as well. It works just pretty much the same way as the blur in the front camera. We have a 50 megapixels camera, however we cannot use it in the regular photo mode. Instead, if you want to use 50 megapixels, you need to go to more, and over here we have the dedicated 50 megapixels camera mode. Or you can go to Pro mode, and over here if you open settings, camera options, you should be able to find Ultra HD option, which is the 50 megapixels camera. And going back to the photo mode, we also have Google lenses, which can be quite useful if you want to search something by taking a photo of that object. So for example, over here I have this toy car. I can take a photo of this toy car and I will get results in Google. So for example, if you know what a certain object is, if you are not sure, you can simply take a photo and get the results. Or for example, if you are looking for that item, for example, I don't know, like clothing or something, then it might be quite useful as well. Besides that, we also have the translation option. So if you have a document that is in a foreign language, then you can take a photo of that document and Google Lens will translate it for you. And that is pretty much it. These, I believe, are some essential tips that can be quite useful pretty much for everyone on POCO F7 Pro. However, if you use this phone and you found out more about the camera features, then of course share them in the comments so that everyone can enjoy the camera as much as possible. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and see you in my next videos. Bye!